Hi, I'm Courtney Young. I'm going to share just a little bit about myself. I didn't realize how fast 5 minutes goes. Um, I live in Leota with my husband Josh and our three boys. We moved there about 12 years ago. I've been teaching elementary art 1 day a week for the last 6 years, and I'm loving that. Before that, I was a social worker at SRS in Garden City. I investigated child abuse and neglect. But it just wasn't realistic when we moved to Leota for me to drive for work. So I quit doing that about 13 years ago. My hobbies include reading, sewing, traveling, and attending all of our boys' athletic events. When it came to the pandemic, we really were not highly affected. Our school did shut down last March like everybody else's, but since August, we've been functioning pretty normally. We've been in a mask mandate for about a total of 3 weeks this entire year, so I really do consider us pretty fortunate. The toughest part for me was teaching my own boys at home, so I can't imagine what the classroom teachers were going through. Here's a few things that I've learned about myself over the past year. Probably the toughest lesson I've learned or had to learn was how to let my boys go. This is a picture of my son Cade, and he'll be headed to Fort Hays State in August, and I'm just really not ready for him to be gone. So that's been a challenge for me. I've listed the 3 types of mindsets, and I'm just going to go through these kind of quickly. I do completely agree with these. Above all, all teachers or all students can learn. I believe as an administrator and anyone in the field of education, we have to genuinely believe that best practice in being able to prepare to teach our students is collaborating with other teachers and getting ideas and being able to work well with others and approaching every day with optimism. Of course, our students need to see that. On this slide, I've listed the 5 types of dispositions. I did add that maybe one thing that I would have added to their list was mindfulness. I think we just need to be aware of our biases so that we can make plans for those and how we approach people in situations and that. And so we're not walking into that blind. And as an administrator, I think that's important to recognize our biases and be mindful of other people so that we can work with others more effectively. 3 types of practices. Of course, completely agreed with those. Data is incredibly important. Our administrators need to know how to read data and use data and how to work successfully with teachers, with their emotional intelligence, and prioritizing. There's too much to do. We have to have our focus somewhere. The 8 principles of ethical leadership, I have those listed here. And I think this is a great time to say, like, we have a principal in our building, our elementary school, that is just great at these skills. He puts in our community and our school above our community and himself, making great decisions for our students, putting our teachers' needs above those of what administration sometimes would like to spend their money on. And I think that's just important, being willing to stand up for your teachers and your students. So I completely agree with those 8. I've also listed some of my strengths. I love working with others. I want people to feel valued. I want my students to feel valued. But along with that, I also have several weaknesses that need to be improved on. Some of those are confidence and being a risk taker, maybe being more assertive, prioritizing my personal life could be definitely handled better so that I'm taking better care of myself as a future teacher. I just want every person that I come in contact with to feel valued, and that's my overall priority. I've listed the correlation, the relevancy statement, and personal reflection here to be reviewed. And then I've also listed my references. I look forward to this class and getting to know everybody in it and learning. I loved these articles, and I can't wait to read more about leadership in the school. It's definitely an area I need to work on and improve on, so I'm excited.